Rudeus Greyrat stands at the edge of the Wind Port, a coastal city on the Demon Continent. It's a place filled with memories, both of his past adventures and the challenges that have shaped him. As he recalls these experiences, he contemplates the vast sea stretching before him. He imagines the roaring waves as he once did as a child, filled with a sense of wonder and excitement. Accompanying Rudeus is Rudeus Greyrat, the granddaughter of the Fitoa region's lord. Her brash demeanor and fiery spirit endear her to Rudeus in a strange yet familiar way. They talk as they watch the sea, with Eris excitedly asking if they can swim in the harbor. However, Rudeus, knowing the reputation of the waters here, suggests otherwise. Their conversation is interrupted by Rudeus Superdia, a demon with a fierce reputation but a kind heart. Rudeus' presence adds an air of protection and wisdom to their journey, and his stoic nature often balances Eris's impulsiveness. As Rudeus considers their plans, Rudeus reminds them that many monsters lurk beneath the sea, deterring any thoughts of swimming. Despite the challenges, the trio is determined to make their way to the Millis continent. At the Adventurers Guild, they inquire about voyages but discover a hefty fee attached to bringing a supered, Rudeus race, along. This complicates their travel plans, as they must find a way past the discrimination and high costs. Eris, unaware of diplomatic subtleties, frequently gets into trouble by confronting others, her fiery temper burning brightly. During one such incident at the guild, her lack of restraint almost leads to a fight. Rudeus intervenes calmly, diffusing the situation with quiet strength. This encounter leaves them grappling with their notoriety. Rudeus learns they have become known as the Mad Dog Eris and Guard Dog Rudeus, much to his bemusement. The group eventually heads to the city's checkpoint where their options for leaving the continent are laid out: pay an exorbitant fee, find a smuggler, or develop a new plan. They consider selling a precious gift, an aquamarine magic crystal, but dismiss the idea due to its sentimental value. That night, Rudeus receives a peculiar dream message from the man god, guiding him to scour the alleyways and open up new opportunities. Though skeptical, Rudeus decides to follow this cryptic advice, pondering its potential implications for their journey. The next day, Rudeus sets out alone, meandering through the city's less traveled paths. His instincts lead him to a confrontation in a secluded alleyway where he comes across a girl in distress. Intervening quickly, he protects her from a dubious situation. Grateful and relieved, the young girl surprises Rudeus with her sharp wit and quick recovery, introducing herself dramatically as Kishirika Kishirisu, the self-proclaimed Great Emperor of the Demon World. Though perplexed by this audacious title, Rudeus finds himself intrigued by her unique personality and stories. Their encounter is both unexpected and enlightening, revealing a side of the demon world he hadn't fully grasped before. Kishirika, with her playful antics and grand claims, seems like a child to Rudeus, yet her confident demeanor suggests a deeper history and understanding of her world. Their interaction leaves Rudeus reflecting on the paths they've chosen and the friends they've made along the way, embodying the adventures and lessons of a journey that spans across continents and cultures. As Rudeus navigates these challenges, the bonds among his companions grow stronger, setting the stage for the continued adventure that lies ahead. Kishirika, the great emperor of the demon world, is in high spirits as she gleefully reveals her intentions to Rudeus. Her playful nature takes a turn when she offers him a demon eye, a rare and powerful gift. Rudeus is initially surprised but remains curious about the potential benefits of such a gift. Kishirika, with an air of authority, explains the different types of demon eyes, mentioning abilities like X-ray vision, foresight, and absorption. Rudeus, intrigued by the possibilities, decides to heed Kishirika's advice, opting for the Eye of Foresight. Kishirika, enjoying the prospect of sharing such a significant power, performs a procedure that leaves Rudeus in mild agony. Yet, the pain transforms into a fascinating phenomena. He witnesses the world differently, with a new depth of perception. As Kishirika's laughter fades into the distance, Rudeus feels the weight and potential of his new ability. Amidst this transformation, Rudeus reflects on the lessons from the man god and the path that led him here. Wandering through the city's alleys, he is absorbed in thought, which nearly leads to a collision with a burly thug. A brief altercation occurs, but Rudeus uses magic to defend himself before the situation escalates. Back at the inn, Eris and Rudeus are taken aback after learning Rudeus encountered Kishirika and received a demon eye. Eris's reaction is one of shock mixed with excitement and a hint of jealousy, given the exceptional nature of such an event. Rudeus, however, remains pragmatic, knowing that mastering the Eye of Foresight will require time and effort. Determined to explore the potential of this new power, Rudeus practices diligently over the course of a week. His days are filled with intense training, channeling mana into the eye to understand its capabilities better. Meanwhile, Eris and Rudeus engage in their own rigorous exercises, honing their skills in preparation for any future challenges. One day, during a session by the beach, Rudeus suggests a friendly spar with Eris to test his newfound ability. Eris, ever competitive and confident, eagerly accepts the challenge. The duel unfolds with Eris making calculated moves, pushing Rudeus to anticipate her strikes with the Eye of Foresight. Despite his best efforts, Rudeus still finds himself struggling against Eris's relentless attacks. After a series of exchanges, Rudeus's foresight allows him to narrowly evade Eris's powerful strikes. Yet, the training reveals his limitations, as he realizes that predicting movements doesn't guarantee victory against a skilled opponent like Eris. Observing from the sidelines, Rudeus offers Rudeus a chance to test his skills against a more seasoned warrior. The sparring match between Rudeus and Rudeus is intense, with Rudeus attempting to use foresight to counter Rudeus's movements. Despite his efforts, Rudeus's superior experience overwhelms him, teaching Rudeus a valuable lesson about the gap between foresight and actual combat prowess. Despite the loss, Rudeus gains insight, understanding that foresight is just a tool that needs to be mastered alongside other skills. Rudeus's advice encourages Rudeus to refine his abilities further. Later, Rudeus ponders over his journey and the advice from the man god. His mind drifts to thoughts about their next steps and the financial predicament they face in their quest to cross the ocean. His staff emerges as a potential solution, to be sold to finance their journey, despite its sentimental value and magical significance. Rudeus approaches Rudeus with the idea of selling his staff, emphasizing the importance of solving their financial challenges. Rudeus, understanding the weight of such a decision, discusses the implications, debating whether selling something so significant would betray trust. Their conversation highlights the complexities of trust and sacrifice on their journey. Ultimately, Rudeus and Rudeus reach a mutual understanding to explore all options, including less savory ones like smuggling, in a bid to achieve their goals. They share a firm handshake, solidifying their partnership and commitment to facing the uncertainties ahead together. Rudeus and his companions find themselves embroiled in a negotiation scene. He is approached by a man seeking a favor, sparking curiosity about the nature of the request. Rudeus, recalling advice from his past encounters with the mysterious man god, adopts a cautious yet open stance, pondering the stranger's intentions. "Depends on the details of your request," he says, assessing the situation. Rudeus, ever observant, glances at Rudeus, leaving the decision to him. The man, named Gallus, explains that he requires assistance with a smuggling job, but assures them it's more about delivering goods than anything nefarious. Intrigued yet skeptical, Rudeus contemplates the potential moral implications. The allure of money and a safe passage home ignites his curiosity further. Gallus offers, arrangements can be made to get back to your homes, a tempting offer given the uncertainty of their journey. Rudeus eventually agrees, seeing the practical benefits and trusting the man god's foresight. Partnering with a smuggler, while ethically dubious, seems a logical step toward their ultimate goal. Their trust is cautiously placed in Gallus, who seems genuine in his offer to help them return. Elsewhere, in a vignette of memory and longing, Roxy Magonote ends her sea journey on the demon continent. The sights and sounds of Windport stir nostalgia and a sense of déjà vu. It's reminiscent of her hometown on the Millis continent, highlighting how far she's traveled and how much time has passed. A palpable yearning for familiarity and home washes over her, yet her determination remains steadfast. Roxy's reunion with former colleagues, Elinalise and Talhand, sparks joy and reflection. Their shared history provides a grounding presence amidst the chaos of their respective journeys. Elinalise's vibrant and formidable presence stands out. She's described as a warrior, equipped with a unique estoc, and a touch of nostalgia surrounds their meeting. As Roxy navigates the complexities of forming a new adventuring party, she learns of rumors surrounding Dead End, a name shrouded in fear and misconception. Together, they devise a plan to gather intelligence. Roxy's knowledge and experiences become invaluable assets to the group. Throughout, Roxy grapples with the societal expectations back on the central continent, her thoughts meandering between her career, familial pressures, and the loneliness that sometimes accompanies her adventurous life. The ache for companionship grows, prompting musings of forming meaningful connections, but the present journey demands her full attention. Back with Rudeus, their preparation for the smuggling mission involves detailed planning. The operation occurs under the shroud of night, the tension palpable as they embark quietly. The clarity of their mission shines through as they grasp their roles and the potential consequences of failure. Their path crosses with a group of slaves, an unsettling sight, and a stark reminder of the darker elements of their world. Despite the sobering moment, Rudeus's resolve remains unbroken. Guided by understanding and empathy, the team maintains focus amid the pressure. Rudeus's voice of reason and calm presence supports Rudeus's emerging leadership. The bond between them strengthens amid the adversity, highlighted during a poignant moment when Rudeus responds to Rudeus's decisions with trust and respect. Amidst the unnerving realities, Rudeus reflects on his previous attempts to create and innovate, drawing parallels to his current challenges. Crafting objects out of mana reminds him of his adaptability, an evolving thread in his journey. As they set sail, the anticipation and excitement of new horizons paint a vivid tableau. Eris, often fiery and energetic, finds her rhythm amidst the waves, the thrill of adventure synchronizing with their voyage. Their experiences forge a deeper understanding, a collective resilience as they navigate the turbulence of both sea and circumstance. Their journey is one of self-discovery, collaboration, and silent hopes for what lies ahead. Each character's presence weaves into the fabric of their shared story, building a narrative as complex and mysterious as the waters they traverse. In the bustling atmosphere of the ship, the group finds themselves strategizing to understand the battle dynamics. Rudeus observes that each member's individual strengths contribute to an impressive team effort. Rudeus, with his formidable skills, stands as a crucial pillar, his ability to draw the enemy's focus allowing others to attack with ease. Despite their strengths, Rudeus notes that not every team member was equally powerful, especially when compared to someone like Ghislaine. Eris, although passionate and eager to fight, tends to get lost in the frenzy of battle, often ignoring commands that could keep her safe. Rudeus considers her need to mature and learn the importance of teamwork. He reflects on how each person's unique skills and their synergy form the backbone of their group, a sentiment he carries as they progress in their journey. As the voyage across the sea continues, Eris is overtaken by severe seasickness. Her normally vibrant demeanor fades, leaving her pale and weak. Rudeus tends to her as best as he can, offering comfort. Through the gentle lapping of the waves, their bond strengthens, a warmth that is unspoken yet mutually understood. Eris confesses, "Hey, so am I going to die?" Rudeus reassures her with humor, promising, "I'll laugh at you if you die of seasickness." In an intimate yet innocent gesture, Rudeus holds Eris close, soothing her as she drifts into sleep. Though they find themselves physically close, there's an unspoken respect that Rudeus maintains, suppressing any inappropriate thoughts. His mind wanders to the trials and promises he made to himself, to only act when maturity aligns with judgment. The ship docks, and soon they embark on their next leg of the journey, arriving at the city of Zanport. The port has a lively charm, a subtle reminder of their progress toward their destination. There's an adventure awaiting as they step off to secure lodging and continue their mission. Their excitement is momentarily dampened by the lack of available rooms, turning the task of finding accommodations into a small trial. Eventually, they settle for an inn within the city's lower end. Despite the modest facilities, Eris shows resilience, her noble upbringing overshadowed by the necessity of the moment. Unconcerned by the dilapidated facade of their lodging, Rudeus remains vigilant, installing preventive measures against potential theft. This choice not to bring valuables along reflects his cautious nature, a trait sharpened by their experiences. While settling into their temporary home, Rudeus takes on a critical mission. His task leads him to the docks, where a critical rescue operation is planned. They must liberate Rujud, unjustly reduced to the status of a slave. Navigating through the docks, Rudeus infiltrates the holding area under a ruse. The atmosphere inside is tense, the stakes clear. As he reaches Rujud, stepping into the shadowy warehouse, his heart quickens, driven by the urgency and the need to succeed. Freeing Rujud is paramount, but the warehouse holds more than their intended target. The dimly lit space conceals a sinister trade, the trafficking of beast-folk children, wearing chains that reflect their stolen freedom. Rudeus's resolve hardens with the revelation of this heart-wrenching scene. Rujud's release is swift, their coordinated actions precise and silent. Rudeus, fueled by righteousness, makes a decision to save the children. These innocent lives, all too accustomed to the cold chains that bind their spirit, deserve liberation. As they execute their plan, Rujud demonstrates lethal efficiency. The quiet falls over the room as they neutralize threats swiftly, leaving no room for malice to fester. "Don't worry. You won't get your hands dirty," Rujud reassures Rudeus, observing his silent determination. With Rujud's shackles discarded, their actions carry the weight of unwavering resolve. The children, initially fearful, slowly comprehend their rescue. Rudeus communicates in the beast god tongue, offering a promise of freedom. The unexpected addition of mew from a relieved girl surprises him, a reminder of the peculiar innocence within this brutal circumstance. With the dangers subdued, Rudeus coordinates an escape, burning away the evidence of their liberation, an act both symbolic and practical. His fire engulfs the remains, purifying the site of its grisly history. Upon returning to safety, the gratitude among the children is palpable. The tension diffuses, replaced by a serene determination to reunite them with their families. Rudeus, momentarily a hero, contemplates the journey ahead, one where decisions and morality intertwine within the paths they choose. Each step forward solidifies their intent, fostering a silent vow to protect those unable to fend for themselves. As they regroup, the road winds onward, promising new challenges and alliances that forge the backbone of their adventurous odyssey. In the dimly lit room, Rudeus finds himself confronted with a curious magical circle. Reflecting on Rox's teachings, he knows it to be a trap designed to bind or contain something. His suspicions are confirmed when he discovers a large, translucent crystal embedded in the center. He realizes this contraption's purpose: to restrain. Rudeus ponders on how to disable the magic circle, wanting to test if he could release whatever was bound there. Despite uncertainty, curiosity drives him to act. He channels healing and dispelling magic from his teachings but falters. What if you could break it without magic, he muses, visualizing his next move. Descending into the basement, Rudeus stumbles upon a sleeping puppy shackled in chains. It's a stark contrast to its weary eyes and weak body. He wonders why such restraints were necessary. Unable to resist, Rudeus approaches the pup but hesitates, wary of any magical backlash. Woof! It responds expectantly, making Rudeus pause. Would freeing it pose a threat? Thinking tactically, he aims to remove its collar, seeking to break the binding chains. As he releases the lock, a surge of power instantly rejuvenates the puppy. Before Rudeus can react, the pup joyfully charges him, knocking him over and covering him in slobbery affection. Suddenly, loud, aggressive footsteps echo. A towering figure bursts in, a man with beast-like features. "What have you done to the sacred beast?" he roars. The dog wags its tail, apparently unfazed, but Rudeus senses danger. In the blink of an eye, he uses his demon eye to anticipate the man's next move, narrowly avoiding being seriously harmed. Subdued and realizing his misunderstanding, the beastman examines Rudeus. Initially mistaken for an enemy, Rudeus clarifies his accidental involvement. Their exchange reveals Rudeus's true intentions, and the tension dissipates. Remarkably, the beastman communicates with the dog, unveiling the creature as significant, perhaps even sacred. In response, the dog acknowledges the beastman with a woof, as if to signal its acceptance of Rudeus. Relieved yet confused, Rudeus finds himself caught up with the group's plans. He is to accompany them back to their village. The atmosphere relaxes as Rudeus and the Beastman discuss returning the sacred beast home. The company travels through dense woods, moving swiftly but cautiously. Later, Rudeus reflects on the honor of having Rujud as an ally and his absence during this plight. Despite the risks, he is determined to return the sacred beast safely, buoyed by the company of the beast men. Upon arrival at the village, Rudeus is introduced and briefly detained. Within their community, tradition demands a peculiar handling. He is stripped of his dignity and plunged into immersion in their culture, one markedly distinct from his own. Despite feeling exposed, Rudeus understands the necessity of their cautious customs. Time passes slowly. Days drift into one another as Rudeus waits in captivity, watching the villagers from afar. His companions, particularly the outspoken geese, offer curious dialogue that reveals life's nuances in the beastmen society. Despite being in a cell, Rudeus finds odd companionship with geese, who shares wisdom and humor, easing the lengthy wait. Rudeus grapples with this unfamiliar world, contemplating Rujud's delayed return. His thoughts pull toward the children, ensuring their safety remains a priority. Yet hope persists, guiding Rudeus to embrace their customs and learn more about his captor's ways. Days blend into one another as Rudeus finds unexpected comfort in this vibrant, nature-rich world. When tensions ease, he senses that his captors no longer perceive him as a threat, and the seed of trust begins to grow. The story of a misunderstood traveler, finding his place while respecting boundaries, continues as he awaits rescue. In the midst of a tense and unexpected scene, Rudeus finds himself scratching Geese's back, noting how oddly itchy it is. He's completely absorbed in the strange sensation when he notices smoke filtering in. The ominous realization dawns on them that the forest may be on fire. Despite the lack of a clock, the intense itching, and the noise from outside, Rudeus feels it's possibly lunchtime or thereabouts. But there's no time for leisure or meandering thoughts. The smoke is accompanied by the distant sound of clashing swords and frantic cries. As the smoke becomes more apparent, enveloping them in a thin veil, this dire situation demands immediate action. Rudeus acknowledges they must investigate and, if necessary, flee. Geese hoists Rudeus onto his shoulders, giving him a better vantage point to assess the calamity unfolding around them. Through the confusion, they discover the forest is indeed ablaze, the flames perilously close and licking at the canopy with fierce intent. Rudeus leaps from Geese's shoulders, pulling together every ounce of bravery. He contemplates an escape, but the route is fraught with danger. The only option is to quickly plan and move, potentially dodging both the flames and the unknown chaos outside. As they strategize, they realize the fire may not merely be an accident but a deliberate act of sabotage. Suspicion is confirmed when they encounter bands of shadowy figures rallying amidst the trees. Rudeus knows they must hurry, and with Geese's assistance, they prepare to navigate their way out. As they struggle through the smoke, they encounter a young beast child, suffering from smoke inhalation and a vision blurred by tears. Rudeus, utilizing his magic, swiftly cleanses the child's eyes with water magic, an act of mercy amidst the chaos. This brief interaction compels him to consider the broader chaos. Were these fires truly an accident or a malevolent diversion for something more sinister? The truth becomes evident as more chaos erupts. It seems the forest fires were merely a smokescreen, a means to attack the beast folk village. The scene unfolds like a cruel tactic to distract and wreak havoc amidst the villagers. Rudeus, faced with the horrific realization of an orchestrated attack, steels himself to act. With strategic magic, he plans to face the brigands who exploited the chaotic scene for kidnapping. Engulfed with purpose, Rudeus casts spells with calculated precision, turning the tide against the human aggressors who sought to profit off the beast folk's misery. Geese, ever the loyal companion, assists him, urging them on as the duo battles through the frenzied melee. In the midst of this struggle, Rudeus channels the deep-seated anger that comes with witnessing injustice firsthand. He engages in combat with the attackers, skillfully navigating the battlefield while aiding the beast folk in their fight for survival. With the rain season impending and the fires doused, the threat gradually subsides, allowing the villagers and Rudeus to assess what remains. Although the conflict leaves a somber note in its wake, the bravery displayed during the event forged a moment of unity among them. The tension subsides into a reflective calm as Rudeus contemplates the peculiarities and newfound alliances cemented through adversity. The assault on the Doldia village serves as a harrowing reminder of the fragility of peace, leaving Rudeus, Geese, and the others to ponder their next move in a world fraught with unexpected challenges. Eris stares at me, her eyes filled with frustration. Ghislaine once saved my life when I was a child, and I owe her my loyalty despite her shortcomings. The chaos in the village when Ghislaine lost control shouldn't define her. Still, Guys and Gustav could understand my words better than Eris, who is overflowing with anger. Tears are forming in her eyes and her fists are trembling. Ghislaine is amazing. Amazingly strong, she shouts, her admiration for the swordswoman pouring forth. Guy seems bewildered by the respect shown towards Ghislaine. This can't be. Ghislaine, respected, he mumbles. Eris, unfazed, insists that Ghislaine is an incredible person. Guys remains confused, so I step in, supporting Eris and explaining that Ghislaine unexpectedly holds my respect. I respect her, at the very least, I assert. A week passes, and the rain continues to pour over the village. We remain in an empty house, welcomed despite being outsiders. Despite offering to help, we're turned away, considered more trouble than aid. The children suffered during this time, but eventually, I find myself taking a walk to clear my mind. Guys meets me during this stroll. Hey now, he says, trying to stop a fight before any harm is done. I told you to knock off that crap, knock it off. He looks stern but offers my vest back as a gesture. It's a small interaction, but it reassures me. Guy shares more about their troubles. The sacred beast, a revered entity, was missing. I express my interest in the Academy of Magic, sharing plans to attend. Guys finds this intriguing due to the rarity of outsiders enrolling there. It's great to see you're interested in magic, he remarks, making me feel welcome anew. 3 weeks creep by. I delve into daily life with Guys, learning about their customs. Eris grows close to the children, even teaching them the human tongue. For the first time, I see her forming bonds outside of our small group, and it fills me with pride. Conversations about Ghislaine spark admiration and recognition, enhancing her image among the villagers despite her initial failings. The sacred beast emerges once more. An entity of respect and mystery, he's tied to the village's lore. My interactions with the beast, filled with humor and mutual respect, become cherished secrets. Laklana, another guardian, requests I refrain from holding the beast too close, yet we share a bond that goes unnoticed by others. More time passes, leading into another month. The rains ease, and we prepare to move on. Before departure, I revel in the enrichment of bonds and knowledge I've gained here. Guys, accompanying us for part of the journey, shares stories of his past, hinting at hidden depths never before revealed. With the group set to continue towards the Holy Sword Highway, the journey seems filled with promise. Eris, meanwhile, continues her growth, gaining confidence and poise. Various encounters test her maturity, yet she handles each with the grace expected of someone beyond her years. As we prepare to leave for the Holy Sword Highway, there's a sense of hopeful expectation, the sense of adventure laying thick in the air. Our carriage rolls away, and I reflect on the endeavors of our stay. Despite trials, there's a sense of completion. Our journey is rife with new potential, and I find myself grateful for the path we've taken thus far. With these thoughts, we set our sights on the days to come, with the lingering echoes of the past whispering, urging us ever forward. As the preparations for their meal unfold, Eris expresses her restlessness by swinging her sword with fervor. Rudeus and Geese, busy with their respective tasks, are unfazed by the clatter of steel against wood. Rudeus, ever the silent observer, muses about the culinary capabilities of Geese. Despite his boasting, Rudeus appreciates the unusual flavors Geese creates with simple ingredients. The tension disperses as everyone falls into their roles, content but eager for more. Eris, however, is restless. In the middle of their cooking routine, she declares, "I'm bored." Her declaration hangs in the air, bringing a brief pause to their otherwise seamless rhythm. Rudeus, trying to maintain peace, makes a passing remark, attributing their roles, Eris as the firewood collector, Geese as the cook, and himself as the water provider. As Eris prepares to counter Geese's relaxed demeanor, he nonchalantly shuts down her protest. With a calm resolve, Geese states, "I'm bored." Unfazed by her fiery spirit, he takes a sip from his mug, calming the air that was charged moments before. The group continues its routine, with Geese demonstrating his culinary skills and unraveling a bit of his past. He shares a moment from his adventures, highlighting a time when he was asked to teach a woman named Eris how to cook. This narrative brings a flicker of curiosity to Eris, who blurts out, "Why not?" Geese's reply is simple, "'Cause I don't want to." This exchange, brief yet potent, leaves Eris momentarily shocked but quick to retort with, "Why not?" One can sense her determination to understand and challenge the world around her. Rudeus reflects on Geese's bluntness and the way he shares snippets of his past life. This woman had wanted not just culinary skills, but the heart of one of the men in her party. She wanted him to notice her, Geese reminisces, with a hint of melancholy. Yet, as fate would have it, saying "I guess, why not" brought unforeseen consequences. The narrative shifts to a significant moment during their journey, where they stumble upon a mysterious monument. The monument is deeply etched with inscriptions related to the 7 great powers. Curiosity consumes Rudeus, prompting him to decipher the inscriptions. As Rudeus joins the survey, he reveals the monument was a ranking display for the mighty powers of the past. Half of these titles vanished long ago, Rudeus notes solemnly, emphasizing the vast changes over time. Rudeus dives deeper into Rudeus's tale of history and legend, wrapping his mind around the lineage and strength of these powers. He perceives the magic these inscriptions might harbor, pondering, what kind of magic? Despite the depth of their conversation about legendary powers, the daily concerns of their journey take precedence. Their path across the blue Wyrm mountains challenges them, especially with the unfriendly terrain filled with perilous blue dragons. Yet, the efforts reward them with the breathtaking passages carved by the magic of St. Millis. The ravine enables a safer passage, saving them from a long detour. Once past the mountains, they make a rest stop at a small city where the absence of an adventurer's guild is noted. Rudeus persuades Eris against buying unnecessary items while Geese appreciates Geese's call to conserve resources. As their journey winds down the Great Forest and the Holy Sword Highway, Rudeus imagines the hot springs nearby, yearning for the warmth. Alas, practicality takes over, and the journey resumes with promise and ambition. The destination is close at hand, and Rudeus feels the pull of familiarity and excitement for what Millis will bring. The journey continues, but with each step, the bond between the travelers deepens, carrying within them stories untold and challenges yet to be met.